We appreciate you being here with us. We know that there are a lot of places that you could have been, and so we look forward to sharing something with you that, as my partner Cliff said, might just transform your financial experience. So we're going to do tonight's presentation in a couple of parts. In part one, we're going to talk about crypto. We're going to lay the foundation for cryptocurrency, the basics, future, some obstacles if you want to become an investor. We'll talk about a piece of software called Mapbot AI, and we'll share with you some member results. And then we'll tell you how you can get started if this makes sense for you. And then we'll take a moment and we'll do some Q&A. If you have some questions, we'll give you some answers, and then we'll pop into part two, where we'll share with you how everything in part one can be 10x in a very, very special way. So to get started with our presentation today, I want to talk to you about the company and the background of that company. The company that introduced the software, which was launched in January of this year, is a company by the name of MAT International Digital Quantification Group. And this is a company based out of Asia, been around since 2007. Their expertise and experience was in the stock and Forex markets, and developed expertise in developing bots for those markets. And they brought that expertise over to the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. And as I mentioned, in January of this year, launched a piece of software that brings us all together here today, Mapbot AI. So we're going to dive into the presentation, but before we do so, which one are you? We wanted to acknowledge all of the different people that attend a call like this. And it doesn't really matter where you fall along the spectrum. We want you to know that you're welcome. You're in a good place. And I believe that we're going to share something with you that's really, really meaningful. Whether you're a brand new crypto investor, maybe you never heard of cryptocurrency, or maybe you've bought and sold a few coins, and maybe you're still trying to figure it out. Or even if you're an advanced trader who's confident and competent in the cryptocurrency space, doesn't matter where you are, I think we have something that you'll find really special. Unless you're in the last category of an advanced trader, for the first two categories, I want to make sure that we understand where we are today. Because where we are today really, really does matter as it pertains to the opportunity as an investor. So before we talk about cryptocurrency, I want us to take a trip back in time. And for some of you on the call, it might be before your time. So I'm dating myself, but I want you to know that I grew up in a time where when I talked to my friends on the phone, I had to stand next to the wall because the cord could only go so long. I was around when the first VCRs came out. And I was around when the internet and the World Wide Web were two different things. I say all of that to simply say, the world has really evolved very quickly. And I read an article today that said that we went from a time where we pretty much, as humans, we used to simply do what our parents did, and very little changed from generation to generation. Today, however, we live in an age where things change from decade to decade. I just gave you a couple of examples that were very real to many of us on the call in terms of our own life experience. We've seen so much evolve and so much change, and the speed at this change is just getting faster and faster. And cryptocurrency is just at a place where we might have been back in AOL or the beginning of the internet. Imagine what life was like before cell phones. Now, every single thing that we do in our lives, it seems, is on our cell phone. It's central to the way that we live our lives. And I believe that cryptocurrency one day, in the very near future, will be just as central in the way our lives work as our cell phones are today. And so in its evolution since 2009, when the first cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, was introduced, cryptocurrency has gone through a number of evolutions and stories and beliefs. A lot of people thought that it was just a fad that would go away. But today, cryptocurrency has gained real prominence and respectability. You see a number of companies on the screen, probably a few that you do business with regularly. Amazon being one of them, more than likely. But companies like Bloomberg and Dell and Visa and MasterCard and Subway. And let's not forget about Tesla and Elon Musk. Thank you, Elon Musk. And PayPal, who recently started to accept various forms of cryptocurrency. The point we're making here, ladies and gentlemen, is if you don't know it, we're in the middle of a cryptocurrency revolution. We're quite frankly at the beginning of the revolution, And the fact that we are starting to see institutional money, by institutional money, we mean companies, guys, places that spend billions and billions of dollars on traditional investment assets like real estate and stocks and so forth. They're starting to bring billions into the cryptocurrency space, essentially signaling an acceptance of cryptocurrency as an asset class. And you see all kinds of different headlines to prove this to be the case. Cryptocurrency being called the next great investing opportunity. And likely, whether you've been following cryptocurrency or not, you've probably heard of Bitcoin. And the reason you've heard of Bitcoin is because what it has done in the last 8 years is historic. No single other entity is responsible for creating more millionaires than this one cryptocurrency, having created over 100,000 millionaires in the last 8 years and a few billionaires as well, growing over 200,000% into 2021. So here's the thing, you've probably heard about Bitcoin, but there's some other coins that you might not know about, what we call altcoins or alternative cryptocurrencies. Some of the popular ones that you've likely heard about might be Ethereum or Chainlink or Polkadot or Cardano. The names go on and on because today there are over 9,700 different cryptocurrencies. But I want to focus on the top 50. And in the top 50 is the coin that we just talked about, Bitcoin. And of the top 50 cryptocurrencies in the last 90 days, where you'll find Bitcoin is being outperformed by 47 of them. So what does that really mean? What it means is that we're in the middle of an altcoin season. I think we've gone past the point where we have to prove, or Bitcoin has to prove, that it's a real asset class. It's a real contender. It has the real ability to build and bring wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, you might not understand it. You know what? I don't understand electricity, but I don't hesitate to turn on a light when I walk in a dark room. So we're past the point of saying, I don't get it. I have a friend that's exchanging text messages with me, and he's like, I just don't get it. Bro, it's okay. Don't get it, but get in it because it's not going away. And so Bitcoin has been proven to be a contender, but there are cryptocurrencies that if you look to the left of your screen, you'll notice are performing at 100x and 1,000x and more in terms of return over the last 90 days. What does that mean for you as an investor? It means there are huge opportunities. But here's the challenge, and here's the reality of where we are today. With all that being said, with all the news and all the noise that's happening, just a few weeks ago, it was announced that over 500 US banks would make cryptocurrency directly available to their members. The cat's out of the bag. Yet and still only 10 to 15% of Americans today own cryptocurrency. And a good spike in that happened just in the last few months, just in 2021. And you compare that to the number of Americans that own stock at 55%, we're lagging behind. We're missing out on a huge opportunity. And no disrespect to those who are here from other countries. The likely case is that it's the same where you are. This is a global opportunity that we're going to share with you tonight. Cryptocurrency is traded all over the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yet most of us are being left on the sidelines, not involved and not sure how to get involved. And there are real reasons for that. Getting involved in cryptocurrency can be and feel intimidating. Just making a decision about what exchange you're going to use, where to go buy cryptocurrency. There's over 300 exchanges now. And then once you open an exchange account, then you've got to decide what coins you're going to buy. As I said, there's over 9,700 of those today. And so these are real decisions. There's real strategy and real thought about what you're doing here. And then when you get in there, you're faced with screens and charts and graphs and lines and numbers going a mile a minute. And if you don't understand or know the space, it can be really very daunting. Getting to understand all the platforms, the technology, the terminology, it's real investing. And it can be really daunting because you're dealing with real dollars and real cents, real money that you've earned and you've worked hard for. So you want to make sure that if you're going to put your money in here, that it's being maximized to earn you money and you're minimizing the opportunity or the idea of even taking losses. So that brings us to the point in our presentation where I get to introduce to you an amazing piece of software called Map.ai. Map.ai is an automated cryptocurrency trading platform. and it is ideal, perfect for brand new investors, brand new people to cryptocurrency, folks who have been just trying to find their way around, trying to find that light switch. Mapbot AI is perfect for you. And if you're a professional or advanced trader, you've been navigating this web of interesting evolution of cryptocurrency, this is going to help save you some time and some headache. And so Mapbot AI is ideal because it makes investing in cryptocurrency simple. See, the reality of it today is that it's not always simple. You know, when the internet first came out and you had to get online, do you remember that dial-up sound? It took you 60 seconds if you were lucky just to make a connection, and then it took you 2 minutes to load a page. It's kind of where we are in cryptocurrency today. It can be really antiquated compared to where we'll be in just a few years. So navigating all of that gets simplified when you use Mapbot AI. And here's what Mapbot does. All day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Mapbot is working to find profits for you in the cryptocurrency markets. Mapbot connects to an exchange and it looks for micro increments of profit, sometimes large chunks of it, and it never, ever, ever closes on a losing trade. Mapbot is programmed to simply find new money and bring it back to an account you own and you control. And it does this all day long without any input from you. You set it up, you program it. What you'll find is if this is new to you, or if you've been having a challenge finding your way through the cryptocurrency craze, this will help simplify things tremendously, giving you confidence to not only start trading and earning, but learning as well. And what you'll find is that when new money comes into an account that you own, and it happens consistently, this is not only passive income, but it's a tool to building real wealth. So a snapshot of the inside of Mapbot AI. What we're looking at here is the coin screen. And if you're new to trading, don't even think about getting overwhelmed because this is really very simple. I show this for my advanced traders so that you understand that there's a lot that you can do here to maximize your own strategy, to play with it, to do things that you would maybe otherwise be doing manually, but buying your time back because Mapbot AI is working all day long. Literally, watch Mapbot go in and out of trades within seconds, faster than any professional could ever do. This is where we set up our coins. This is where we make a decision about how the coins are set up. And again, if you're new to this, there are guides that tell you exactly how to do it. So you're really never alone. You're not just getting a piece of software. If this is the thing for you to help you navigate cryptocurrency, you're also getting an entire community of individuals. Some of who are brand new, just like you, some of who are learning and navigating just like you, and some who are professionals and love this software because it buys their time back. And I know nothing more valuable than time. So here's what you're looking at. This is a portfolio at a glance. Unlike that screen we saw where there are all of these numbers going all over the place, this is a nice, quick, clean snapshot of where your portfolio is in real time. And there's a lot of red on this screen. And we did that intentionally because the story this is telling is really the sweet spot of how Mapbot operates. You see, the reason why Mapbot works so well in the cryptocurrency space is because it's a very, very volatile place. When the inevitable happens, which is when coin positions or coin values drop, and they can do this in huge percentages throughout the course of a single day, what Mapbot does is see that as opportunities to buy additional positions, buy the discounts, because I'm sure you already know that you win when you buy low and you experience those winnings. You recognize them when you sell high. So Mapbot looks for these opportunities of dips in the market. It doesn't need huge gains in order for you to win. It needs dips and it needs raises. It needs for the market to go down and to come back up. And the good thing about the cryptocurrency markets is that it does just that quite a bit. So when we see a coin screen and there's a lot of red, it's an indication to us that Mapbot is buying and doubling down on our positions so that we can recognize bigger profits. The other thing that we get to see that's probably the most exciting part of Mapbot and just a little bit addictive is something called the E-ledger. The E-ledger is where Mapbot comes and reports back what it's been up to all day. Again, Mapbot's trading 24/7, looking for and finding opportunities to bring new money to your account. And when it does so, it reports it back on this really clean, easy to see and easy to understand ledger. What you're looking at here is the accumulated ledger. So it's showing you the totals for each of the days represented. But during the day, as MapBot's working, throughout the course of the day, it's telling you exactly what trades it's closed and how much profit it's earned from those trades. Very easy to understand, and again, slightly addictive. And this happens day in and day out. Some days there are dozens of trades that are closed. Some days it might be a little bit quiet. Days like the last few days where the market has been in a decline, we know a lot of our members have been seeing amazing returns throughout those days, and some have just been holding. But one thing that none of us have experienced is MapBot closing on a trade that has cost us or lost us money. So getting daily profits, or getting regular, consistent earnings, seeing your account grow, it's a wonderful feeling. It really is a life transforming feeling, particularly when you know that you're now participating in the greatest financial happening of our lifetimes. And you're doing it with confidence because MapBot doesn't require you to be an expert or to even understand the markets. It's programmed to win and work for you. But I want us to take a step back. We talk about the idea of earning consistently. And here's how MapBot is designed to work. The idea behind MapBot was to give the average person an opportunity to succeed and earn aggressively in this amazing crypto market. And ideally, the company would like you to experience between 10 and 30% per month. And many of us have had that experience consistently. Everybody's experience will be different. Of course, the market will determine a lot of what our experience is. What happens when we take a look back, when we take a step back and we look at this from a broad view over a long span of time, long in the terms of 12 to 24 months? The idea is that MapBot is creating new income, bringing it into an account that you own, using that new income and multiplying it, compounding it essentially. And so I want to tell you a story about the mathematical power of compounding. And it's a story about a king, and a king who got bored, as kings tend to do. And this king got bored and wanted to be entertained. And so he sent out a decree for somebody to create a game to entertain him. And the game that was created by this wise sage was a game that we now call chess. And the king loved this game. He loved the fact that all the pieces interplayed and represented the way the kingdom worked. And of course, he loved the fact that the king was king. And so the king wanted to reward the sage. He offered him all the typical riches and gold. And the sage really wasn't up for that. He had something else in mind. And he asked the king for something the king didn't quite see or understand. He didn't see it coming that the sage would ask him for rice. And he was even a little bit offended because after all, he turned down all of his riches. But the sage didn't just want rice. He was a smart man. And so he asked the king to give him a grain of rice and to double that grain of rice for every square on the chessboard. And here's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. The first square gets 1 grain of rice. No big deal. The second square gets 2 grains of rice. The third square gets 4 grains of rice. The fourth square gets 8 grains of rice. The fifth square gets 16 grains of rice. So how is it that the king's servants come back to him and tell him, King, we have a problem. We don't have enough rice in all the kingdoms to fulfill this sage's request. And the king was perplexed. And maybe you will be too, because here's what happens. By the time you get to the 10th square, you need over 500 grains of rice. At the 15th square, you need over 16,000. At the 20th square, you need over 512,000. And at the 25th square, over 16,300,000 grains of rice. We're just now getting going. And again, there are 64 grains of rice on a chessboard. Maybe you can understand where the king was perplexed and how he ran out of rice. Here's the point of this story. The point of the story is that this isn't magic. This is math. And what I'm about to show you might seem like magic, but it's just math. I want to give you 4 different examples. And what you're looking at is the examples that you're looking at are accounts that are funded with a single dollar amount, whether it's 1,000, 5,000, 25,000, 100,000. It doesn't matter. You pick a number that relates best to you. And imagine what would be possible if you only entered that single investment. You left it alone and allowed MapBot to do what it's programmed to do. and we assume a conservative 10% monthly return. And then we look at what happens over the next 12 months. And as you can see, what MapBot does, or what math does, when it's given an opportunity to compound, is it returns back threefold the initial investment. And if you go another 12 months and you give it 24 months, you now have 10x your return. The point I want to make here simply is that if you don't have a vehicle that puts you in a position to 3x your money, to triple your money in the next 12 months, or to 10x your money in the next 24 months, then you should seriously consider what we're talking about today. We're talking about the power of compounding. And somebody very, very intelligent had something to say about compounding. Albert Einstein said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. More importantly, what he said was, if you understand it, you can earn it. But if you don't understand it, you're going to pay it. And so really our presentation today is a question to you. Do you want to earn and compound those earnings, or are you satisfied paying somebody else who is? Well, hopefully that's an easy question to answer. And if MapBot sounds like the right tool for you, then you'll be happy to know that getting started is fairly simple. Now, if you're new to cryptocurrency, it might not feel simple, but then again, that's why most people are missing out. Here's the benefit. MapBot simplifies it, and there's a community to hold your hand to get started in it. The first thing that you're going to do is open an account with either Binance or Huobi, the #1 and #2 exchange in the world. Either of these are fantastic choices for you. They provide a secure API, software to software connection, that allows MapBot to connect to them. It doesn't have any access to withdraw funds from them. Once you make that decision and you set up the account on the exchange of your choice, then we're going to activate MapBot. And then here's what you're going to get. You'll get 24-hour a day, 7-day a week, automated trading. Automated, without you having to get interactive with your trading, without you having to make decisions about buys and sells and starting and stopping things. I often like to talk about MapBot like Tesla, for example. I think we all know that you can set Tesla in autopilot and it'll start and stop and slow down in traffic. It'll even turn corners and come to a full stop at a traffic light. Automated. Well, MapBot is very similar. You probably wouldn't want to go to sleep at the wheel of a Tesla in autopilot. You probably don't want to go to sleep at the wheel of MapBot either. The idea of MapBot is that it doesn't require you to be an expert. It doesn't require you to follow charts and to understand every nuance of the market. There's simple tools so that you can see what your MapBot is doing for you. You can see exactly what it's earning for you. And you get to see your daily profits. Easy to read and easy to understand. Simple tools to program MapBot, whether you're a beginner user or an advanced user. And as I've alluded to already, it's 100% in your control. It's 100% your cryptocurrency. There's no third party that gets involved here. It's your exchange, you open it. It's your MapBot, you connect it. You decide what you'd like to trade with, and MapBot goes to work for you. If you decide you'd like to stop trading, I don't know why you would, but if you decided that you needed to, you could do that at any time with no penalty. You could withdraw your funds at any time with no delay. Have your money back into your account within 24 to 48 hours. And I've actually seen it happen in as little as the same day. That's a lot of control for an amazing investment. And what's beautiful about MapBot is that it works for small and large investments. Maybe you've got a lot of disposable income and you really don't know how to maximize it. And you're struggling to figure out where to get additional income passively into your home or into your financial future. This is a fantastic tool to consider. Maybe you need to start saving for your children's college education or your retirement or a vacation, a new home, a new car, doesn't matter, whatever it is. If you don't have a vehicle, ladies and gentlemen, that's earning you or positioning you to earn month after month and compound those earnings in the most amazing and aggressive cryptocurrency markets, then you should consider MapBot your friend. Ladies and gentlemen, it's $150 to get started. It's an amazing piece of software. And the one thing I want to mention is that MapBot didn't invent the idea of bots trading cryptocurrency. Bot trading has been around for decades. Big institutional firms and wealthy investors have used bots for a very, very long time. What's unique about Mapbot is that typically you need to understand programming language, and at the very least, you need to understand the markets. You need to be able to program your strategy. You need to understand what you're doing, what your takeaways are, why you're doing what you're doing. Mapbot doesn't require you to have that expertise. It's designed for the average person or the advanced investor to be able to succeed in the cryptocurrency space. We come to the end of our formal presentation. We want to thank you for being here. Hopefully you've heard something that you decide is right for you. We'd love to welcome you into our community. We'd love to see you turn on and use Mapbot and have an amazing experience. Have a fantastic evening. Enjoy yourself, your loved ones, those that you're close to, maybe those you're not so close to. It's a great time to reach out, give them a hug, even if it's virtual. And we look forward to seeing you in our community in the next couple of days. Get into the community, get yourself a bot, and let's party and enjoy and learn and make a bunch of money together. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. We look forward to seeing you in the near future.